Coffee. And make sure I'm not doing a silent order. Okay. Okay, so in this case, you can see you can supply an INET address, which is a internet address, and a port number. It's easy. That really makes everything easy. But this is only for creating the socket. Once the socket is created, you still need to do the connect call. Assuming you're at the client side, you want to connect to a server, then you need to call the connect method. And then bind this socket to the given local local host address and port specified by the socket address, or you can use connect. Connect this socket to the given remote host address and port specified by the socket address, remote address. Okay, so with the constructor, this is your local one, and this one is deprecated. But that's it's about the same as a Bluetooth socket. Basically, you have to specify what you're connecting to and do the connect. But while you're doing the connect call, it should not be in the thread, in the UI thread, because again, the connect call can take a long time to come back, because it depends on how quickly the other side can finish the connection, or even to reject your connection. But once you have the connection done, then you should end up with a socket that has the same ability as what we were talking about earlier. So we're talking about the input and output ability of a socket.
So are you limited to like a certain certain objects, certain like ints, or are you limited to data types that you can transfer?
No, because a TCP/IP connection is just an input stream and an output stream.
Oh, gotcha. So you pretty much.
Yeah, I'm just looking for the method to send something. So looking for.
So all you need to do is probably like set some sort of authorization method, and then.
Yeah. So okay, so we connect to the socket with a remote, and it does not return anything, which means the same. Okay, I'm just looking for input stream. So it has the same methods: get input stream and get output stream, and then once you have an input stream and output stream, it's just you can use a binary protocol, you can use a text protocol. So you can, if you want to, you can even have your own HTTP, interpreter, with your own code, and then you can talk, HTTP. Or if you want to talk whatever protocol, you can. It's just a stream of characters at that point. So you can do your own parsing, you can do your own formatting of information. So that's considerably easier compared to using C++ and C in Linux. A lot of stuff that has to happen in the background is taken care for you already here. Are there any questions? This is useful too, because it allows your phone, which is, well, okay, if you're not internet connected, obviously this is not going to be helpful. But if it is, this gives you the ability to basically go to any IP address and open any port that you already know. And then after that, it gives you the input stream and output stream. And then you can implement, on the other side, you can implement the protocol. And then on this side, you implement whatever, the other side of the protocol. And then you can have your own, communication scheme to do whatever you want to do.
Is that to say, like, this seems like really important if you ever actually need an app that needs it, hit your server?
Yeah, it also has a
logic.
Yeah, it also has a SSL method too. So that's also built into it. So if you want end-to-end encryption, all that stuff that needs to happen, with SSL authentication and whatnot, is already done. So this gives you a pretty clean and easy to use abstraction to use sockets in general.
Do you use something like OAuth to manage authentication?
Sorry?
Do you use something like OAuth to manage authentication?
What is that?
Oh, I thought it was some authentication method,
Well, SSL has its own, certificate-based authentication if you enable it. If not, it's just, the other side will give you the encryption key and you just use it for encryption purposes. Yeah, but using this, you can implement a lot of, interesting stuff. If you run your own server, you can now have your own app to run it, whatever protocol you want to run. All right. Any other question? No questions? But is that answering your question about
Oh,
how
yeah.
to? Yeah. Yeah, it is handy. I mean, this is certainly one of the